Welcome back to Distorted Opinions. I'm Kayla, and this week I am joined by Matt and Ted, and it feels like it has been forever since we've done a show, guys.
Not for the listener. It's
really been that long.
Because we've recorded so many episodes, like it just every Saturday they're popping out.
That's true.
We haven't had a chance to sit down for what feels like forever, but it's only been 2 weeks. Can you imagine that?
I think so.
Blink of an eye for the listener.
Seriously. There you have it. And,
trying to get in the last minute fun before the summer comes. I mean, tomorrow. Right. Well, I mean, when this releases, will already be in, I think
it'll be late September.
Not quite fall, but yeah, maybe actually, I don't know.
I don't know probably the last time I'm in a tank top this video.
Well, one thing's for sure. It'll be football season.
Yeah, yes.
Yep.
And I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited for football season. There's been some late breaking news as of today, recording this episode that'll be old news by the time everybody sees or hears this episode. But looks like the Patriots, for those of you in New England, finally have a quarterback for the year and for the season.
Big Mac time, baby.
And it's not Cam. So
no, it's not.
That's perfectly fine. We'll be fine.
Which, if anybody follows Fitzy on social media, Fitzy posted a video earlier with his take on the whole thing, and he was like, it really brings the whole Cam high five thing from the game on Sunday a whole new meaning. I don't know if anybody saw that, but Cam was chasing him down the sideline, trying to give him a high five, and it was like the Brady thing a few years ago where Brady was trying to high five. I forget who it was, but he's running down, trying to high five. Nobody, actually, I think it was multiple people that didn't want to high five him or didn't notice that he was trying to high five him. But anyway,
don't tell him. Just ignore him.
So on that note, we thought that now might be a good time to kind of change gears a little bit and do an episode on maybe some memorable or favorite halftime performances, as well as what maybe some of our dream performances would be for a Super Bowl halftime show. So, let's get right into it. I don't know about you guys, but something I didn't know until I was looking up notes for the show is that from the first Super Bowl in the 60s until about the mid 80s, the Super Bowls actually had mostly marching bands as halftime performances, which, I mean, kind of crazy. Now it's like they pay a well-known artist, God knows how much, to go out and perform for.
I wonder why. Minutes. I wonder who sets that up.
Pepsi. Definitely something I noticed.
I just lost power.
All right.
Are you guys still there?
We're still here.
Yeah, we're still here.
Oh, hey, okay.
So anyway, let's keep on rolling with it.
There's my phone.
For those that are going to be watching this video, Kayla literally just went dark. Literally dark. All of her electronics just went off.
I'm surprised I still have internet. But this is weird.
She's still recording.
It's impressive.
You guys can hear me?
100%.
We can hear you. We can see you too.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's because I'm holding my phone up.
So this turned into a Halloween episode without even.
Episode ever. Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes.
So, like you were saying, though, the marching bands were really much the main halftime event during a lot of those Super Bowls, and it really wasn't until 1991 when New Kids on the Block started, were the halftime performer, that it seemed that it became the trend to have a major current musical artist become the halftime performance for these Super Bowls. Because obviously, as mentioned, it was prior to 85, really, there was all marching bands. Yep. Which is kind of crazy because, I mean, granted, given the era of us growing up, but I mean, looking at major names on a bunch of these halftime performing lists.
Yeah, see, Gloria Estefan, Michael Jackson was played in 93. The Judds, Patti LaBelle.
Like, there's so many major names, but I just find it interesting that right around 85. Hey, you know what also was just getting big in 85?
Us being born?
Well, sort of. MTV.
Oh, yes.
That's right.
So I wonder how much that had an influence on that. MTV was 82.
Clearly.
And then we're talking 85. They're like, hey, maybe we can market some music onto this. I don't know. This is hypothetical, but it certainly is a coinky dink.
Interesting correlation I had not thought about. So good take on that.
Because obviously every one of these artists were pretty much making music videos in that era. Obviously Michael Jackson was huge in 93. That was Super Bowl 27. In 97, there was a Blues Brothers themed Super Bowl with ZZ Top and James Brown. So, I mean, that certainly had, you're talking, pop culture and mainstream music colliding in a lot of these events. And obviously, I think that probably got better viewership. They're like, oh, we're going to make money on this. We're going to keep this going.
But then they started going into the next year, going into Motown, the 40th anniversary. So they had Boyz II Men, Smokey Robinson, Martha Reeves, The Temptations, Queen Latifah, and they actually brought back the marching band, which was the Gambling State University marching band.
Yeah, they certainly had marching bands as a part. I mean, even more recently. So they have their major performer, but they still have marching bands within, either whether it's not actually televised, they only televise at that certain point of it. But, I think marching band as a football core is certainly a key factor for music. I don't know. You can't think of a football game without marching band, but a bit biased because I was in the marching band. So there's that. Weren't we all?
Right. You guys keep going. I'm going to go check and see if I lost power in the whole house or if I just blew a fuse. And I'm going to go see if I can get power back because I feel like my phone's not going to last me the whole show. And my laptop didn't have a full charge. So
good luck.
I don't try to get this back, but keep going. I'll be back when I can resume in a few minutes.
No problem.
To be continued.
But another thing that I noticed is that right up until what was it? All the Super Bowls up until 93, when Michael Jackson was the performer, in the exception of 03 and 05, every single Super Bowl halftime had a theme.
That is true. Yeah, look at that.
So, for example, the kings of rock and pop had Aerosmith and NSYNC. They had the Blues Brothers thing that I had mentioned. Obviously, they brought out Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, Jim Belushi, excuse me, for that particular theme. But up until that point, there was always something holding it all together. And then after that, it was a major name. Doesn't matter what it is. We're just going to grab everything, whatever's popular in the moment.
From the looks of it, it looks like they went from themed to, which was the actual theme of the Super Bowl, and then of course you have the performer, to dropping the theme but having a headliner and then having special guests join that headliner for that show. And that started right when about 2010. Yeah, about 2010.
Yeah, they certainly we're going to have, for example, the Bruno Mars Chili Peppers Super Bowl. Obviously, there were two primaries, but then they had a bunch of other people just showing up to say 3 sentences or song lyrics and then run off stage or whatever.
Yep.
I mean, it's the music performances. I'm not all against them. Some of them have been really good. There's a couple that have been really bad.
Lately, they have been bad.
They've been. I know. But I mean, the cool one that stands out to me is when No Doubt did the Super Bowl performed at the Super Bowl in 2003. Shania Twain, No Doubt, and Sting was there. That one was certainly good and memorable. The Prince one, really good.
Prince one gave me goosebumps through that whole show. It was just, if anyone didn't know Prince before, the Super Bowl was a great reminder of just how phenomenal he was as a guitar player. And not only that, not only did he play classics, but he also did a cover, and he did a really great cover rendition of Foo Fighters' The Best of You.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
He did All Along the Watchtower as well.
Yep. Oh, that's right.
We Will Rock You.
Another one that I remember, but I remember hating, and a funny moment from that particular Super Bowl was the Bruce Springsteen in the E Street Band performance, where Bruce just goes sliding on his knees across the stage and right into the camera. It was the funniest thing. I'll never get that out of my head. I hated the song. I'm not a Bruce Springsteen fan. I didn't care for the music, and I thought he was rather annoying. But the fact that he slid on his knees and then right into one of the camera guys in the crowd, like standing amongst the people off stage, pretty hilarious to me. That's one thing that stands out.
That.
Could it be any worse than where is it?
Maroon 5 with him not being able to keep a shirt on.
I
think I talked about Maroon 5 a couple episodes ago. Just, you can go kick rocks, but I'm talking about.
I failed on my Song of the Week pick and not remembering Matt's rant about Maroon 5. I really should have picked a Maroon 5 track. Anyway.
Yeah. The kid's diapers are more attractive than that dude.
Oh, jeez.
But I don't know. I think probably could it be any worse than the Katy Perry Super Bowl performance with the dancing sharks?
I mean, that was not great.
It was horrible.
Hold on. How about the Weeknd last year with the jock straps on their heads? I mean,
it's where they belong, but it's not a band that I care for.
Oh, wow.
Hot take.
It's funny because you look, and yes, we're going to use Wikipedia because it's the most promising piece of information out there in the world. That everything from, I think when we hit 2010, everything just went to shit. Except for The Who. I mean, The Who opened up 2010, but then we got the Black Eyed Peas, then we got Madonna, then we got Beyonce, and then we got Bruno Mars.
Okay, wait.
But at least the Chili Peppers are in it. And one funny thing about the Chili Peppers is that I remember them zooming in. I was like, oh, finally, Bruno gets the, it's not his turn anymore. Chili Peppers, here we go. And then they zoom in on Flea, and his bass isn't even plugged in.
Yep.
Womp womp.
I was like, it's all piped. I know it's fake, but I like to believe it's real to an extent. But it's just pre-recorded, 100%. And then, it's chilly. It's like, it was just funny to me.
Yeah, it's you know what's also funny too is that I feel that, and it's funny because I'm actually looking at this now. It's all coming back to me that watching these Super Bowls. At one point I went, oh, wait a minute. Didn't these guys already play? And again, Wikipedia, the promising source out there, confirms it because Bruno Mars was the headliner for the Chili Peppers show, okay, for Super Bowl 48. And then 2 years later, he was a guest for Super Bowl 50 with Coldplay. Mm-hmm. Who also was a guest for that show? Beyonce, but Beyonce performed on Super Bowl 47. So what does that tell you? It means that people can't get their shit right and they can't find real talent. So what do? They recycle the talent that already performed and went, let's go ahead and just throw these guys back on.
Well, let's also don't forget about the infamous 2004 Super Bowl 38 halftime show where the whole wardrobe malfunction.
Justin Timberlake.
Actually, Kayla, we were over your place when we
were at Kayla. We were at your house.
I was going to say, I think we all actually watched that game together because there was a whole lot of what just happened there and rewinding the DVR to I think
for a room full of
actually
people that were like, whoa, all right.
Like, wow, that's Janet Jackson's tit.
I think that also resulted in them putting a delay on the live broadcasts of the games going forward so that if something like that happened, they could cut away or dump out to something else without that going out to millions of people, which I think that incident also resulted in some of the controversy around the Maroon 5 performance in 2019 because there were a bunch of people that were like, well, how is Adam Levine walking around without his shirt on the whole time any different than Janet Jackson having her wardrobe malfunction and she's hanging out on the stage? I mean, I don't want to get too into that because I feel like that goes down a political path. But
it's politics right there.
But the two things kind of tied in. I know that was some of the argument that people made with the Maroon 5 performance was that it wasn't any different in their opinion than the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction. But
because you know why? Because people want to get away with today's world with copyright and other music in order to make their own shit. Like Maroon 5 and Canon and D.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
The reason why Janet Jackson got flack is because she didn't copyright a song. Oh, well. I'm joking. I'm making a joke.
I was going to say,
I'm making a joke.
But that, I would say, is probably in the last 20 or so years of Super Bowl halftime shows, probably one of the most memorable, largely because of the wardrobe malfunction incident. And
that was one I feel like MTV was sponsoring. And then as soon as that happened, everyone was like, whoa, we're not allowed. We're putting a delay. We're going with uber safe artists because the year after that, Paul McCartney, Rolling Stones, Prince, Tom Petty, Bruce Springsteen. That's 5 years of uber safe artists for halftime performances. And I think it wasn't until, Maroon 5, there was some controversy, right? We just talked about that. But then the Shakira Jennifer Lopez in 2020. Is that too sexy? But that was really good. Like
a lot of bum shaking.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I feel like we've hit the hurdle. We're coming back across and, maybe climbing back up the hill to being edgy again. But with these halftime performances. But I just find it funny that it was 5 full years of the safe content for performers.
That's true. I hadn't even actually realized that until you just pointed it out, and then I looked again at the Wikipedia page and it's like, oh yeah, interesting.
Oh yeah. But
I feel like
either way, lately these shows have been shit. I'll say it out loud.
It's everyone. They're just trying to get the views for the Super Bowl. It already is a major draw for all the NFL fans, and if they can open the audience up to someone fairly mainstream that's easy listening to an extent, or pop always sells. Well-known. So it's got to be in a certain class of music, and obviously it's pretty straightforward with given the names that have come up. Everybody knows them. Everybody knows their songs and whatnot.
If I could probably say the last rock themed performer was Lenny Kravitz in 2015 as a guest, and everything else has been pop or hip hop since.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Lenny Kravitz only did one song apparently out of all of those songs that were performed in that halftime show.
Oh yeah, so does that even count?
It was with Katy Perry, so it wasn't even like it was a Lenny Kravitz. Like one of his own songs.
All right, I redact my statement, and I'm gonna go say 2010 with the Who.
Well, and so that's the hard part, right? So this halftime show is what, 20 minutes, 10 minutes of commercials, whatever, if that, right? Maybe even less. 10 minutes of music and then 20 minutes of commercials. But you've got you're trying to get so many artists in to appeal to a certain audience that you only have 5 songs, maybe 4, 5, and then you try to get 7 artists in all those 5 songs. Like, I mean, yeah, now you're gonna get Lenny playing a guitar over a Katy Perry song because you're trying to, we got the rock people like Lenny Kravitz, we got him in. Katy Perry's top of the pop charts this year, let's just do a mashup. Like, I don't know, it's just a money grab. And
then there are some artists that we never even heard of, like, again, kind of going back to a couple years ago, the 2020 show with Shakira and Jennifer Lopez. They had an artist named Bad Bunny. I didn't even know who the hell is friggin' Bad Bunny. And I actually had to use this promising source. And he is a Puerto Rican rapper, singer, and songwriter. Never even heard of him.
I mean, but there you go. Now you know of him.
Yep.
It worked.
Well, and how about, so I don't even remember this, the 2011 halftime show with the Black Eyed Peas, apparently Slash played Sweet Child of Mine with Fergie. But again, kind of like the Lenny Kravitz thing, it's like they bring in a well-known rock musician and they don't even have him play one of his own songs. They have him play a pop song with some other well-known pop musician, which is kind of interesting. I don't even think the Chili Peppers show, they only did like 1 or 2 songs, didn't they? I'm trying to find where they are in the...
Yeah, I think...
like Bruno Mars did like 80% of that set.
Oh, no, wait. Again, it was Chili Peppers and Bruno Mars. They did 1 song, they did Give It Away, and they did it with Bruno Mars, and the rest of the songs were all Bruno Mars.
There it is.
So
how many songs were in that playlist? 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, 7. All right.
Yeah, some of these have quite a few. The Coldplay halftime, they did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 songs in that one.
Well, they don't play the whole thing, right? Because they just do mashups.
I don't think so.
I think it's just like, let's do 50
highlights.
seconds, a minute of this song, and then right into the next one.
I think Coldplay maybe played 1 full song because looking at the list, they had Beyonce, Bruno Mars, Mark Ronson, Gustavo Dudamel, and the marching band, and the Youth Orchestra of L.A.
Interestingly, though,
Beyonce is going to be like, I want some attention.
Coldplay did 5 songs with just Coldplay.
Wow.
And 1 song, they did Fix You / Up and Up with Beyonce and Bruno Mars. But the rest of the songs Coldplay did they were just Coldplay. Not any of these like Slash and Fergie type deals where they bring in the well-known rock musician or rock band and they have them do 1 song with one of the pop musicians. It was actually Coldplay doing 4 or 5 of their own songs, which is kind of interesting.
Was it crappy Coldplay or good Coldplay?
Well, it depends on what your definition of crappy and good Coldplay are. They did Yellow, Viva La Vida, Paradise, Adventure of a Lifetime, Clocks, and then Fix You, which was like a multi-artist
So probably
thing.
the only decent song out of that whole list was probably Clocks.
Yeah.
Again, depends on what you consider to be good and bad Coldplay.
Hey, listen, the show's called Distorted Opinions. That's just my opinion.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying it depends, everybody. And here's the other thing about Coldplay too. I feel like Coldplay is one of those bands kind of like Dave Matthews where it seems like people either love them or hate them, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of in between on like, yeah, they're okay.
Right. So here we go. Ready? They're probably gonna piss off some listeners again.
Uh-oh.
Coldplay is a replica of... Coldplay, I feel, is like the younger brother of Maroon 5. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Maroon 5's like the older brother that is the bad boy. Okay, look at Adam Levine. Okay, he's doing whatever it takes to try to get attention, not only for himself but for his band. I mean, if Maroon 5 didn't have Adam Levine, would Maroon 5 even still exist? That's number one. Number two, the reason why I'm saying Coldplay is pretty much a younger brother to Maroon 5 is because both, when they started off, had phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal albums. Songs of Jane and Parachutes. I could probably listen to those on constant repeat. Anything after that is just complete shit. And the reason why I'm saying that, okay, is because they completely took their roots, pretty much flushed it down the toilet, and went with whatever today's opinions were, and they're nothing compared to what they were when they originally came out. So Coldplay is all this like electronic, all pop, is literally nothing that is similar to what they were, what Parachutes was. Just like Maroon 5 is all, I don't even know why the hell they even have a guitarist. I mean, what's the fucking point? But it's all electronic and all pop, and it's just, it's disappointing. But hey, I'm gonna say it. Sorry, guys. Whoops. But Coldplay, I mean, Maroon 5, they had some talent back then. Now they're just sellouts. I wish I had my trombone.
I feel like you're gonna get some people that might argue with you on that one. Like I said, I feel like
comments.
Levine is hot with his shirt off. I bet so.
Let us know in the comments. What do you think? Reach out to us.
Yes. Maybe we should do a poll on Spotify and see what people think.
Hey, I could get attention if I took my shirt off and ordered a quarter pounder with cheese. Come on, man. Get off me.
Well, this digressed quickly. But anyway, so, oddly enough, Coldplay is one of the few halftime shows that I see here that actually played a number of their own songs without the other artists kind of mixed in there, where it seems like for the most part, anybody that could be considered more of a rock type group, I guess, it's like one song with a bunch of other artists. The last time I think there was a band that was more on the rock side that played just that band was The Who. Mm-hmm. And it was nothing but Who songs with The Who. After that, it's been a mix of different artists.
11 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So don't get me wrong. I'm fully 110% supportive of all different types of music. Keywords, different types of music, not the same genre. Okay, if you're going to have someone headline, okay, then actually give them the spotlight. Now, I'm a little surprised that within the past 10 years, especially with how country is, that country hasn't headlined a Super Bowl yet. And especially since football is heavily influenced but in the South. So, here's the question for the whole group is, right now, the two top genres of today's music is pop and country. Do you think within the next 10 years we're gonna see a shift in Super Bowl halftime performances to country, or do you think today's pop is gonna shift to country? Because there's no way in hell that probably rock is ever gonna come back.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Haven't the national anthems the last few years hasn't that been?
It's been moved around a little bit,
right? But that's the national. We're talking about the performance wise. Like national anthem's completely separate. I mean, we're talking about like I don't know what Luke Bryan's of the world. Is he gonna be a headliner, or is Kenny Chesney going to be a headliner for the Super Bowls?
I guess
don't
where
see
I was
why
going
not.
with that. Yeah.
I mean, that's a fair question. And it's given its popularity, I am surprised looking at the list of people that have performed that there isn't more country in it.
Yeah. Past 10 years has all been
Shania
pop.
Twain,
Yeah, that's true.
2003
Shania,
was
yeah.
the last
18
country,
years ago.
and again, country bordering on pop.
right.
And Shania Twain, but see, Shania Twain back then was more of pop versus country. I mean, when you think of Feel Like a Woman, okay, or what's that other song? Don't Impress Me Much, I think. Mm-hmm. Okay, those are more pop rather than, country.
Yeah, but those are going to be the songs that they're going to pick first.
Right.
I feel like a lot of country these days is also kind of poppy in general, though. My mom listens to a lot of country music, and to me, it's bordering on pop. It's not country music in the
100%.
like not Chet Atkins country or Johnny Cash country by any means. It's very much poppy. So I feel like, yeah, I could definitely see it being like at some point, maybe, halftime shows having more country, I guess, defined artists as the performers. But I feel like a lot of it probably comes down to they're targeting probably a younger audience. Yep. They're targeting what's kind of popular. I mean, even listen to what's being used in a lot of commercials these days. And if you think about it, a lot of that stuff is the same type of music that you're hearing in halftime shows, and the halftime shows being funded by sponsors who are the same people making those commercials.
No,
so
true.
I feel like a lot of it kind of ties into what you're hearing in the commercials is what you're probably going to hear in a halftime show, and it's probably for a long time going to continue to be poppy. But I don't see why a country artist couldn't be chosen, because like I said, I feel like country music these days really borders on being very poppy, at least in my opinion.
No, I completely agree. And I think, it was more like a rhetorical question. Like, why haven't we, in general aspect, the past 10 years has been nothing but pop. But when you turn on a radio station, okay, every single channel, okay, even like channels that are consistently playing older stuff will throw in a new tune. And more than likely, what's that new tune? It's going to be like a country tune. So, but the other thing too is, I think we will see it because a lot of pop artists and hip hop artists are doing a lot of collaboration with these country bands and country artists. Take, for instance, you have Florida Georgia Line, okay? And Nelly toured with them and made a couple songs with them. So could we see Florida Georgia Line with Nelly, kind of like a Bruno Mars and a Chili Peppers collaboration for a Super Bowl? Yes. I don't think they're just going to full-fledged throw someone country, but they're going to do some sort of a mix, which is that
there'll be a mixed performance. Yeah. They'll have them in on a song, and and that's how I see them breaking the ice with that. If that's how they're going to do it,
like probably see like how is our reaction? How's the crowd's reaction going to be if we throw country in there? But let's be safe and throw someone else in there too.
Right, of course.
I don't see why they just ask us. I mean, we're great musicians. We jam all the time.
Yeah.
We could put on performance.
Don't you know? Distorted opinions? Oh, come on,
seriously. Yeah.
Just throw Harris on the bass in front of thousands of people, and there you go.
Yeah.
And he could do a chili head challenge.
Jeez. Yeah. I mean, I'd really like to know what goes into the process of choosing the halftime shows, because I don't know, no pun intended, half the time I hear who the performer is going to be, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
How'd you come up with that? So I don't know.
I mean, it's either going to be a spin the wheel and then a bunch of different names, or it's a literal dartboard and they're like, these are the safe names. Mm-hmm. And the bullseye is like that one chaotic artists that they really don't want, but no one can throw a bullseye, so they just keep it on there for like it's fair, and then they actually
keep going.
So they pick them the same way we pick our song of the week picks on this show.
Almost.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Or they actually get someone good and go, all right, retry.
Yeah, that I actually got that phone call. That's how I learned of the process of how I pick my song of the week songs. Is I had to call New York, and then that's how they pick these artists too. Yeah,
So funny. Well, I mean, at least I'm proud to say that the past 10 Super Bowls, I at least had a great. I didn't miss one play because I used those halftimes for bathroom breaks.
So, gotta be back in time for the commercials, man.
Beer breaks, food breaks, ship breaks, all breaks.
Oh goodness. Yeah. So I don't know.
I was going to say, with that being said, given the history of all the performers that have performed, who do you think is your favorite overall that have performed?
Oh, okay. I think actually
The Weeknd.
I think Matt's not gonna like my choice, given the
Who?
given
gonna say
his
Maroon
rant
5?
about no.
Okay.
Coldplay, I actually think was one of my favorites recently.
His face. Just rolled his eyes, his head's back in his chair. He's looking at the ceiling.
I mean, I
I'm
don't
gonna say,
even
with all
really.
due respect, give me one reason why. I'd like definitively why.
Well, because this is where I guess you and I differ on our opinions of Coldplay, but I actually like a lot of the songs that they performed at that halftime show.
You like Paradise?
Oh, I love Paradise.
Paradise.
You're gonna hate my song of the week pick.
Paradise. Oh my
If you haven't looked at the
Spoiler
spike
alert.
sheet already, see ya.
At first, I really thought he was singing, and it's funny because there's a YouTube channel called GIF with Sounds. I'm not sure. Have you guys seen it before?
No.
So basically, they take GIFs, right, and they put sounds to them that relates to what it is. So Coldplay's Paradise has a GIF of two pairs of dice, and it's going in circles because it's and it's funny because I chuckled when I first saw this, because when they first came out with that song, I really thought it was a pair of dice. So they're singing of, so it just made me like can't stand Coldplay anymore. I'm like, wow, you made a song about two pieces of like game material. Paradise. Oh, Kayla. Oh, okay, it's okay.
I mean, come on.
I can't. I'm
Obviously,
sorry.
not any of these are really probably my ideal halftime show. But if I had to pick one from recent years, I would say that probably would be my favorite. Least favorite, okay? Least favorite. And hopefully I'm not going to piss off any of our viewers or listeners. U2. I can't stand U2.
Okay, we're okay with that one. We're good.
That
We're
was
good.
probably my least favorite of all of the halftime shows that I've seen in the last, what's it been, 21 years, 20 years, somewhere around there. So,
Matt, what was your favorite?
Prince, and that's gonna be my song of the week too.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put my favorite pin on Prince as well. But yeah, least favorite is probably the Bruce Springsteen, as I said.
Least
I don't
favorite.
remember seeing that one.
Oh, it was not great. I didn't like Maroon 5 either.
Yeah, no. My
Yeah,
least favorite is
yeah.
everything after 2010.
You know which one I wish I had seen is the Blues Brothers halftime in 1997. That
Yes.
looks like it was actually pretty good. It was Blues Brothers, ZZ Top, James Brown, and Catherine Cryer.
Yep.
Yep. You can find a lot of those shows on YouTube,
I'm
which
sure.
is because I've seen I've watched the Michael Jackson one, and
was gonna
it's
say,
kind of
yeah.
crazy because he's like super high up above the crowd at one point, and then he's like on the stage, and it's like I don't know, it's pretty
Hold
nuts.
on. Matt,
What?
1994. The theme was Rockin' Country Sunday, and it was Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and the Judds. One whole country halftime show. Not in almost 30 years.
Yeah. 94, though.
Yes.
So,
but it happened.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right.
It did happen.
Touche. All right. I take that back.
It's just been a very long time.
Is Patti LaBelle considered country? Oh, no. She's pop, right?
I think you're looking. Are you looking at the Wikipedia page?
I am.
She's below the Rockin' Country Sunday.
No. I see. I'm trying to see because they also have Indiana Jones and Marion Ravenwood. Oh, wait. So that can't be Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye is the theme.
Apparently, they have different producers every year. And I don't know if that's based on, doesn't the network that airs it rotate every year? Isn't it on like NBC one year and ABC the next year and then CBS?
Well, don't they kind of it? They bid to be able to host.
Is that how it works?
Yeah,
I thought it was a rotation.
The highest bidder or something like that.
So apparently they have a different producer every year, and Walt Disney actually produced a few of them. And so was Walt Disney? Yeah, Walt Disney produced the Indiana Jones themed Super Bowl in '95, which was Patti LaBelle, Indiana Jones, and Marion Ravenwood, Teddy Pendergrass, Tony Bennett, Arturo Sandoval, and the Miami Sound Machine. And they only did 4 songs, all of those artists. Interestingly enough. But it was all like, oddly, they did Can You Feel the Love Tonight? I thought that was an Elton John song.
That is.
Mm-hmm. No Elton John in that halftime show. And actually, let's talk about that for a second. Is anyone else a little surprised that Elton John hasn't done a halftime show? I feel like Elton John would be a good...
Elton John and Billy Joel.
Oof. They're already on tour together. Are you kidding? Or you whatever. Like they're all making real money. They don't need to do a 5-minute spot on a halftime Super Bowl.
True.
No, I could agree with you on that one. Elton John, yeah, why hasn't he done a show?
Yeah, speaking of, what other cool bands would be good to see at a halftime show? I have a short list of ones, and they're all rock, of course. Yeah. But
I was gonna say I'm gonna try not to be biased, but mine's probably.
But I mean, the hard part, right? So they have to be well known. They have to be generic in a sense that it'll appeal to most audiences, and have a repertoire of good music. First one I thought of, Guns N' Roses. Because, I mean, already think about it, because Slash has already been up once, and obviously supporting guitar, whatever. But everyone knows Guns N' Roses. And it's fairly neutral, old rock, if you will. That should be fine, you would think. I think they're too big to, at this point, even think about it. But it would be a reasonable band.
Yep,
I mean, I think Elton John and Billy Joel would be like S tier, like absolutely incredible. But Guns N' Roses would be interesting. Ozzy.
Yeah.
Classic.
Get some old school metal in there. Yep.
I mean, they do use Crazy Train in a lot of games, so it's not like Ozzy's unheard of at a football game.
Right. True. I mean, Ozzy would be a reasonable one if he's still kicking on the couch and needs to make some quick bucks. I'm sure he wouldn't mind like hopping around for a little bit. And then on a more recent note, I'm thinking even The Offspring, because they're catchy, their tunes are pretty good. It's old enough that a lot of people would have known who they were. And I don't know, they have a good collection of songs that are popular, so that would be a reasonable option. And then on another one, Disturbed, and just because of their Sound of Silence rendition, that people didn't give them a blink of an eye until that song came out, and now more people are aware of them because of that cover. Just saying, would be another one that would be pretty cool to see in a halftime show.
How about Weezer?
Weezer could go. Absolutely. I mean, on stage, not out of the stadium, but
I knew what you meant.
yeah.
Yeah. Weezer's like right over the line of being able to perform.
Because of the hash pipe song and drug.
Well, don't play hash pipe. I mean,
I think, they definitely have, they can play Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is a great song. That whole album is pretty great. They could play Sweater
Buddy
Song.
Holly.
Sweater song, definitely.
Buddy Holly.
Well, they only got time for like 4 songs, so
they could
fine.
probably play hash pipe. If they could get, girls to shake their ass, they're pretty much, friggin' naked. Yeah, they could play hash pipe.
Let's be honest, they're probably not getting a halftime show to themselves either. So there will be some other artist that shares the stage with them and eats up 2 songs. So,
Of course.
or
Yeah,
they'll
that's
do
what I mean.
a
They only get a couple
compilation.
songs anyway.
Or it'll be a pop artist and Weezer does 1 song with the pop artist that's not their
Or that
song.
too.
So what you do is you get Snoop Dogg to come out and do hash pipe with Weezer at the Super Bowl.
That,
$9 idea.
yep. You heard it, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Credit.
That's right. You heard it here first. When it
right there.
happens, Ted called it.
So if
geez.
I were to probably add some names to Super Bowl as well, it would definitely be some new, some old school. One, okay, I'm just gonna do another quick glance through Wikipedia, and I'm looking, and I do not see it, but the Beach Boys didn't play.
Yeah. I feel like they're a little too over the hill, if you will, in terms of relevance, given the latest 10 years of halftime shows.
Yeah, I'm thinking. So the reason why I'm saying Beach Boys is because you had obviously the Who, then you had, remember, Tom Petty played. Mm-hmm. So we get some old school going on there. Everyone's heard of the Beach Boys. Beach Boys got some, pretty safe music that they could release and not have to worry about, malfunction wardrobe
I hope
malfunctions
the wardrobe
and all
doesn't
stuff.
malfunction for those guys.
Hell, they could even have John Stamos on the bongos,
Right? I mean, it's
just like in the Kokomo. There's another
the Full House
get the Full House gear crew up there.
episode there.
But if I were to say, I would love to see Lenny be a headliner. Now I know he was a guest, but
He's been a guest
actually
twice.
It
wasn't Lenny on there twice? But yeah, at least once anyway.
I know he was a guest, but I don't recall if he was actually like.
Unless I
headliner.
read that incorrectly, but
Yeah.
either way.
But I think that's another great artist that from when we went to go see Guns N' Roses in 2015 or 16? 16?
16.
We saw Lenny live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he was phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
So from a fan's perspective, it would be great to see him at the 50-yard line on a stage, okay, playing in front of people, because that's also another musician that could really, really play and also sing and also have performance. But not only can he bring today's rock, but he could also bring a taste of Motown too and a touch of pop from his early stuff. So, it still can kind of blend in. So I don't know. I would think it would be nice to see the Beach Boys, because the Beach Boys didn't have an opportunity back in the 80s when they were really big to get it. So why not bring them back? If it were to do old school and then maybe recent school, it would be nice to have Lenny do a headliner.
Yeah, I agree with that.
How about the Foo Fighters?
Oof. Definitely.
The Foo, I have this really strong feeling and ambition that they are going to be given the opportunity. And the reason why is because lately they've been blowing up with their shows. They're getting a lot of press with their shows. They're coming out with good albums. Not a big fan of this last one. I think I said in a previous episode early last year that I don't think there was ever one bad Foo Fighter album. Well, I listened to this one. I'm not really a big fan of it. So
yeah, listen to it 10 more times, so it'll come around.
We'll see. But I think the Foo could. But kind of going back to what we were saying is maybe it will be Foo, but it will be with like a pop person, like. I don't know, friggin' Justin Bieber or something like that with.
Oh yeah, probably yeah. Ugh. All right. Well, that makes sense.
Hopefully, Dave Grohl will say "F that."
No, that's true.
Bieber ever done a halftime show?
No.
Nope.
Oh, that's actually kind of a little surprising, to be honest.
Or Justin, the Biebs,
Yeah,
the Boobers.
little surprised.
Yeah, Gayla, what for artists that you anticipate or would like to see at a halftime show? Who's on your list?
Well, yeah,
Besides Metallica.
And besides Chris Harris.
Oh God, I mean, I don't know. It's so hard to even try and imagine some of the bands that I like playing a halftime show because I just don't ever see it happening. I mean, of any of the bands I might want to see as a halftime show, I think Metallica is the only one that would potentially have any shot at getting a spot in a halftime show because I think they have songs that could appeal to
Everywhere.
any audience.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, does it have to be someone who's still alive if this is like a dream halftime show, or could this be any?
Oh, we've hit the. Go ahead. What's the dream halftime show then?
I mean, Jimi Hendrix, man.
Ooh.
Come on.
Oh, Jimmy, of course.
Come on.
Do the national anthem to start.
Oh, he's doing the
Come
whole
back
show.
Yeah.
We got Jimmy for the whole show. No, I feel like he'd do a pretty awesome show. I mean, I'd like to think, Stevie Ray, but I feel like, blues is not something that I think you'd ever really see in a halftime show. And he's like way on the blues spectrum, not even riding a line of like blues country or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking through my playlists on Spotify and thinking like who would be a good halftime show?
It'd be a great theme.
Chicago, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Heart would potentially do a good halftime show.
I feel like Heart would need to come out with. Are they still making music by chance?
I don't know.
I feel like their name has resurfaced fairly recently.
Neither is
again.
Hendrix, for that matter.
Well, I mean,
let's see.
Because if they actually have like a new album or something, and their label pays enough money, I'm sure they could get like a guest spot. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's just people paying their way to be front and center. To an extent.
2016, they did apparently put out a new album. I have not heard any of the songs on this album, so I can't speak to how they compare to Old Heart, or if they're any good. If the number of plays are any indication, I would suspect that this album is far lesser known than any of their previous stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Barracuda has 255 million plays on it, and the most plays on any song on this album, called Beautiful Broken, is 438,000.
I mean, that's still a fair amount.
It's a fair amount, but significantly less than their better known older songs. Alone has 209 million listens. Crazy on You, 92 million listens. So I mean, in comparison, the new stuff definitely not getting as much.
Catch on. That's all. It's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like they could put a good halftime show on. And again, I feel like kind of out there with Coldplay, Dave Matthews Band could be a good halftime show, but people either love him or they hate him. So I feel like that's kind of a risk.
You know who it would be? It would be Dave Matthews with Ed Sheeran.
I can't say that I wouldn't be able to see that.
That'd be interesting.
At this point, the lineup doesn't surprise me. I'm just prepared to be disappointed every year. So if that was going to be the lineup, I'm like, oh, great. Can't wait for the commercials. Awesome.
Yeah, true.
But on the other hand, they don't they have like these surprise, all these other supporting artists that they don't announce until they just show up. So they're hoping that you'll be excited when you see them or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't be shocked by that lineup, Matt, at all. But they haven't announced just the halftime show for this year yet. So we'll see how we do.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think, those would probably be my picks for potential and minus the Hendrix show feasible lineups for halftime show. So,
you know what? If they brought back themed halftime shows and it was artists that are no longer with us, the theme would be the League of the Dead. It would be.
It should all be holograms at this point.
Hologram.
Oh God.
Jimi Hendrix. You know, throw Stevie on there, just maybe for the solo aspect. Who else?
I mean, if you're going to invest if you're going to have a hologram for a performance, you might as well go all out and just do the whole thing in a hologram. You're really making that notable. That'd be pretty awesome.
I mean, it's pre-recorded anyway. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not much difference there. Anyway, on that note,
going into Song of the Week.
Do we want to go into the Song of the Week? Is there anything left to discuss about Song of the Week? Because I feel like we gave it all away.
I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's true. Ted's is still a mystery. Yeah. So do we want to have you go first, or do we want to let you be the element of surprise at the
it's
end?
Fine. You guys.
All right.
No, go. You want to break it?
Yeah, I was just going to do our usual the spiel about the Spotify Song of the Week playlist. So if you are new to the show, we put all of our Song of the Week picks into a Spotify playlist, and we put the link to that in the description of every episode. If you're watching the video version, we have a scan code, and you can open up the Spotify app on your phone or mobile device, click the camera in the search bar, and hold your device up to the screen. It'll scan the code and take you to the playlist. So go check it out. We have all of our previous picks, as well as we'll have this week's picks in there. And with that, no surprise, because we pretty much gave it away during previous discussion, but my Song of the Week pick, much to Matt's chagrin, is going to be Paradise by Coldplay off of 2011's...
Not a pair of dice, just for those that are wondering.
Right. It's off of 2011's Milo Xyloto, and interestingly enough, apparently Chris Martin actually wrote the song to be the winner's song for the 2010 season of The X Factor, but the drummer Will Champion insisted that the song be included on Milo Xyloto instead. And according to everybody's most trusted and reliable source, Wikipedia, Gwyneth Paltrow did backing vocals on this.
What?
I had no idea. She's credited as doing backing vocals, which was news to me until about, as of this afternoon. But anyway, like I said, Coldplay seems to be a lot like Dave Matthews Band in the sense that people either love him or hate him. As we've gathered tonight, Matt, not a big fan of anything beyond the first album. I'm not a huge fan, but they've got a number of songs I do like, and this happens to be one of my favorites by them. And I'm going to give you another shock. Get ready for it, because I've mentioned this on a previous episode, and I know you guys were all like, what? Paradise was actually the song that the Shibatani siblings skated to in the 2018 Olympics, the U.S. ice dancing team, brother and sister pair. was Paradise. So another reference to Paradise there. But anyway, I think the song is super catchy and upbeat, and I like it. So Paradise by Coldplay.
Perfect.
That's my song of the week pick. Matt, what do you got?
God bless you. So I mentioned it, and it's gonna be Prince.
Which song?
2007. The Set List. We Will Rock You, Let's Go Crazy, 1999, Baby I'm a Star, Proud Mary, Baby I'm a Star, All Along the Watchtower, Best of You, and Purple Rain. If I could choose one of them, I would choose all of them, but I can't because that's more than one, so I have to pick one. And it's going to be the classic Purple Rain. Okay, when I think of Prince, I think of Purple Rain. Okay, it's not only a phenomenal ballad, okay, but I think there's not one person in this world, whether you're a metalhead to a classical type of listener, Purple Rain is just one of those tunes that just once it plays, you're just kind of like zoned into it. It's like the head of Medusa just came and froze you in time, and you have to listen to this from beginning to end. And when you get that power solo coming, okay, near the end, and then you got the falsetto of Prince singing and just fading right in, it's just like, ooh, I love it. It's like it's like trying to make a peanut butter and fluff sandwich, okay, for those that are New Englanders, okay? It's perfect. You're not going to want it every single day because it's a delicacy, but when you make the sandwich, it's just phenomenal, okay? So it's going to be Prince, Purple Rain, off the album Purple Rain.
All right.
Ted, what's yours?
All right, Ted.
So, as usual, this artist had come up in our conversation today and is...
Better not be Coldplay.
it is... Good. No, definitely not Coldplay. It is actually Lenny Kravitz. Because I have seen Lenny Kravitz in concert twice, and also he performed at the Super Bowl as well, as mentioned, but my song is off his second studio album that came out in 1991, the album being Mama Said. The song, really catchy, really funky. I learned the song guitar 2 months ago or so. Always on the Run.
Oh, yeah.
It's funky. It's
big time.
It's got a nice little, guitar pick slide down the neck to start, and then it's got this cool funk riff on guitar, and then it is awesome. And I know played 2 guitar parts on that, and then Slash does a solo in the recording as well. It's a phenomenal song, one of my favorites. Especially as of late, because lately I've been enjoying more of the funk vibes in some of the songs, so like a Chili Peppers and whatnot, but this Lenny Kravitz song crushes it. So that's my pick for this week.
Nice.
I like it.
Awesome. Well, I think we've had a very interesting discussion this episode.
I'm gonna say this for our ladies and gentlemen out there, okay? Kayla, I, and Ted, if we haven't mentioned it before, have like over 20 years of friendship. So it's all love and hugs. And the show is also about opinions. So if you like Coldplay, congratulations. But don't play Coldplay near me.
We can agree to disagree.
Yes, we could agree to disagree.
Yes. So, on that note, if you have an idea for a show topic, or if you'd like to be on a show, or perhaps you are a local musician with a song that you would like us to take a listen to and discuss on the show, because we're trying to add that in as a new segment, reach out to us and let us know, or let us know what your thoughts are on this show. If you have your own opinions of what halftime shows you liked or didn't like, or what you would like to see, or I'm sure people agree or disagree with us on the Coldplay thing. So you can leave us a voicemail over on our Anchor page at anchor.fm/distortedopinions. While you're there, You can find links to our social media platforms, as well as a partial list of the places that our show is available in audio-only format. If you don't see your favorite podcast platform listed, just search for Distorted Opinions. I'm sure you'll find us. If not, let us know, and we're going to work on getting on there. We also have a YouTube channel, so if you want to watch any of the excitement of tonight, like when my circuit tripped here in this space and my power went out, and I was like, wait a minute, but I still have internet, and I'm pretty sure I see light under the door, and I hear a TV. Like, what? How is it that there's only no power in here? Well, you can see all that unfold if you watch the video version of the show over on YouTube, and I'm not going to put the link on screen because it's this ridiculously long link, but if you go subscribe to our channel and you search for Distorted Opinions over on YouTube to find us, and we get to 100 subscribers, we can get a cool custom URL for our YouTube channel. So head over.
Help us out.
Yes, subscribe. You can also send us an email, distortedopinionsshow@gmail.com. We love getting email. We love getting voicemails. We love getting comments on social media. So you can also leave us comments on any of our social media platforms as well. With that, thank you all for tuning in or listening in tonight. And we look forward. Oh boy. And if you're listening, Matt's got a pair of dice on screen. Oh dear. On that note, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see everybody next week with a new episode.